Greetings, travelers.
Greetings, travelers.
Yes, we are here. We are excited. We are recording this before we head out to Wasteland Weekend, but it'll be after that when we get it. And Erica will be at Townsend Bigfoot. So
Yeah.
the NCI guys. So we are excited to see what comes back. But we wanted to record this ahead of time just because we're going to be tired after that.
Well, that and we do not always do the best job of staying on top of things. So
Yeah.
we're trying to be more ahead. Again, due diligence that Bo would keep us in line for, but well, hopefully we'll be having her back soon because that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. She seems to be on the mend. So that's a good sign. So, uh,
Yes.
yep.
So
Well,
we're doing some listener tales for May, huh?
yeah, it's we didn't finish them all last month, and we've got so much more. You guys are awesome. You send them to Mark at Eerie Travels or info at Eerie Travels, or go to eerietravels.com and fill out the form if you don't want to email them. You don't have to use your name. We are all fine with anonymous. We are fine with, as you see when we read them, we use a lot of first names, so we very
Yeah.
rarely use anything else. Nicknames are fine too. We're good with that. Whatever you want to do. We've had a bunch of Appalachian Trail guys email us their trail names in the past. So
Ooh.
for all those of you on the trail right now, we love you. Hope you're doing well. We know we have a lot of listeners out there. So
Yes, yes.
good enough.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't believe we're this far into May now with recordings, but
Yeah.
okay.
All
So I
right.
bet, were you gonna go first, Mark?
No, you were, I think, because you told me that you had things that you wanted to get out of the way. So we're recording during the day, so you won't be scared. So, I mean, I don't want to force your hand, but I
I
think
do not trust you at all. So I am debating whether or not you're being honest or whether or not you're tricking me again. So since I'm not sure, I'm gonna go first.
okay.
I might regret it. So we'll
I
see.
can clearly not pick the glass in front of me because
Yes, I feel like Princess Bride because
yeah,
boy, did never
very,
knew.
very Bassini there, very Bassini. All right,
Yeah. Okay.
go for it.
So for context, I'm a 36-year-old male. Back when I was 16 years old, the family got our first dog, a Rottweiler named Murphy. I love that name.
Oh, that's a
Um,
good one.
he was massive. I'm talking 185 pounds. Wow, that's a big
That's
dog.
big. That is a big dog.
Yeah. Okay. But the friendliest dog in the universe, my best friend and soulmate. Fast forward 5 years, and my girlfriend at the time was pregnant with our first child. And my dear Murphy got sick really bad with cancer, and we had to make the worst decision in my life and let him rest instead of being in pain.
Oh,
I I I hate that. Okay.
I feel
I
that.
never spoke publicly about him again because it was too painful. I do understand that.
Yeah.
The that changed me profoundly. It was my first real loss close to me. A couple of years later, my daughter is about 5 and my son 2, and we're in the kitchen. And I'd started talking about my Murphy when my daughter says to me, "Daddy, was he a big black dog?" I said, "How did you know that, baby?" She said to me, "He's right next to you, Daddy, and he wants you to know he's okay and not in pain anymore."
Oh,
Okay, goosebumps. Oh,
oh,
I, I immediately started crying and crying. And right now telling you that oh, sorry. I immediately started crying, and I'm crying right now telling you the story. RIP Murphy Lee, and I'll never, ever forget you, my baby. And this is from Lee. Oh, Lee, so many hearts for you on that. And I'll tell you, kids can see things. We talk about this
mhm,
all the time. Kids
yep,
see things we don't see. And I think that was fantastic that she
yep,
do that. And hopefully that brought you a monochrome of peace as well, that he's just with you all the time.
yeah,
And you forever being your guardian. I love that, Lee. And thank you for sharing that story with us. It is very sad and gave me goosebumps at the same time because I was a little afraid of where that was going, but I'm glad it went in a wonderful direction and not into a pet cemetery direction. Okay, good.
yeah, yeah, that was good. So, and, yeah, we know kids can hear a couple frequencies that you grow out of, and maybe they can see a couple frequencies that you grow out of. We've just not done enough study, preternatural phenomena, and that's where we're at. So, all right. Let's keep rolling because we got a lot to get through. All right.
Yep.
Probably 19 years ago, we are driving in Cades Cove and take the Sparks lane, I think. It's the one almost at the end that turns left so you can do the loop again. Oh, yeah, I know that one. Anyway, we are driving down the gravel road. I tell my husband, please slow down for the old man in the road wearing a beekeeper hat. And they always wear that, taking care of the bees. Also, had overalls on. Plain as day, I can see him. And like a snap, he disappeared. I got home and got out my books on the history of the Smokies and found the guy. He was Kermit, the guy who lived back there and took care of the bees. Oh my God, I think that was his name. I need to look again. Anyway, when he passed, he wanted to be buried in the cove, and his wife didn't. His spirit is definitely there, Rhonda.
Oh, I love that. A ghostly beekeeper.
That's
Mm.
pretty cool. I wonder if he takes care of ghost bees
I
like
hope
that.
so, and I hope he's there looking out for the bees to this day. Rhonda, that is an adorable story. Did your husband see him? That's what I wanna know because you told
Yep,
him to beware of him, so I kinda go, "Did your husband see him?"
yep. And then I also wanna go, "Hey, when we do our sequel to Dark Side of the Smokies, we may need to add this guy."
Yes,
So,
take note of it. I wanna go see if I can meet a ghostly beekeeper. I'd be down for that. That
okay,
I'm
you're okay with that one? You wouldn't
right, Murphy Lee and the beekeeper, I am down with saying hello to both of them.
well, we're getting good right off the bat here. You're not scared at all. These are great. Thank you, gang.
Stop jinxing me.
All right, Rhonda, thank you for that. I think you saw a guy there that used to be there. You found him historically. That's how you document, and that's what you do. This is how we do it too. So, congrats, you're on your way. So,
Okay,
all
here
right,
we go. Erica! It's said with an exclamation mark, so I'm gonna do that
yay!
again. Erica! Oh, hello. I had this strange situation years ago. One morning, I was going to university by bus. Oh, we're from the other side of the pond. I love it. Okay.
Yes,
I was going to university by bus. Sitting in the back, there was a middle aged, chubby, and somehow friendly looking man who always tried to look in my face. I thought nothing of it, except that he was maybe neurodiverse or something since I was really tired. Afterwards, I went to the university building, but the library I wanted to go to was closed. I sat on a bench, and an old woman with an expensive looking clothes and jewelry, white blouse, blazer, and skirt, sat next to me and started to ask me for money for a bus fare. She seemed aggressive and bad vibes, not unfriendly, but something evil. But hey, who am I to judge? I gave her money and she aggressively started to ask my name so she could send the money to me by postal office. I've read many New Age books at the time. Const Constan
Castaneda.
Constanita too, of course. What is Constanita?
Carlos Castaneda, he wrote, a bunch of, spiritual level, stuff, and he also knew a lot about the occult, so he also knew the Fae, and don't give out your n powers and names and stuff like that. That's Carlos Castaneda. Maybe we'll do an episode on him. He was
We
pretty cool.
should, because I don't know enough about him. Mark, make a note.
Alright,
And
going in
by
the
make a
pile.
note, I mean legitimately make a note since Bo's not here to keep us in
Yep,
line. Okay.
going in the pile. So,
Okay.
alright.
Okay. So I read many New Age books at the time, Constanata too, of course. So I remembered not to tell my name. Woo! Good job. I told her if it's all right, and she suddenly disappeared. I was startled. What was that? The day went on, so I went to library and I took the bus home. After I arrived at my bus stop and left the bus, suddenly the man from before stood before me. He smiled and said, "Now I know your true face." I froze, couldn't speak, just smiled, and he went off. To this day, I'm still confused what to make of this situation, and I was wondering what the hell is my or any true face. Someone has an idea, that would be lovely. Diane. Well, Diane, thank you for this epically weird story that will recertify for me why I will not get on public transit. But kidding. Um, I have an idea about this, but Mark, do you want to hear my idea or do you want your
Well, I
idea?
think I know where you're gonna go with this, and I'm right with you, so go ahead.
I think it's based on your actions and not your how you look. Because you shouldn't judge a person by how they look, you should judge them based on their actions, and he saw that you were willing to give a person bus money and care for that person, but at the same time, you were protecting yourself, which is the smartest way to be. That's my thoughts, but Mark, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think we're along the same lines. I think this was, Fey kin or something like that that you have wandered into and just encountered, and I think they were testing you, and I
Yeah.
think you passed the test with flying colors, and that's great. You walked out of that situation without walking into a Fey circle and not being seen for 50 years like that one person
Yes,
that
let's
we
not do
discussed.
that.
Yeah, let's not do that. So, yeah, I don't think that's anything more than that, which is great. You did the right thing. So, as Erica said, you did it right. So,
You did it great, and I think that's fantastic and well done. You know,
yeah,
it's our names are identifiers, so giving away your name usually is not necessary in most situations. So, just keep that in mind whether you think it's fair or not. People don't need to necessarily know your name, and you don't need to get bus fare mailed back to you. If you need that so badly, don't give away the bus fare.
yeah. And some of the books always say if they hear your name from your lips, that's giving them your true name, and that's how they can gain power over you. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't love that at all.
yeah. Or it could be worse. They ask for your bones. So,
Okay, yeah, definitely don't give them those.
yeah, yeah, that's important. So, all right, moving on. Thank you, Diane, and
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Diane.
across the pond. I think this next one's from there too. So, hi, Eerie Travels. Hi.
Hello.
I learned about Mark from listening to him as guest on Beasts of Britain. Well, hey, good. I'm glad you found us. That was a great
They
show.
allow you on shows in Britain with your horrible pronunciations of things?
Yeah, I'm a token American. They like ribbing
Okay.
me about Appalachian hillbilly stuff. So it's pretty good. But they talk a lot about, you know, uh, lake monsters and river monsters and stuff like that. So
I like that, I like
and
that.
Bigfoot and some Bigfoot. So, well, it says, oh, yeah, thanks. Anyway, it says, glad I found this show. Well, good. I'm glad you found it too.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. This isn't really anything big or dramatic like the rest of your listener tales, but I might as well share it better than nothing. Oh, well, no, we like it all. So,
Yes, I like it when it's less dramatic because it terrifies me most of the time when it's dramatic. So share
yeah.
less dramatic. I'm gonna say that, and then the story's gonna go left. So let's do it.
So, my best friend isn't really a big paranormal believer. He thinks ghosts and apparitions are nonsense. We're both 14 and play a lot of Xbox, and boy, do we talk about random stuff and start conversations. So his grandma and granddad lived together, and a year or two ago, his grandma had a brain hemorrhage when she was in the bath and sadly passed away.
Oh, I'm
He
sorry to
told me
hear that.
stories about his relatives' experience in the paranormal and eerie experiences, and he thinks they're making it up. I don't think they are personally, but here are some of the things they've seen and witnessed. His grandma used to love cooking, and one time in his granddad's house, which his grandma obviously doesn't occupy anymore, a cooking book was flung off the shelf onto his mom. Nothing too special, but still pretty spooky. Now, this is where it gets a little more depth. My friend's niece is about 5, but at the time, she was even about 3. She can say a few words, but can't make sentences. But now my friend's grandma used to work at ASDA, and when she was retiring, all the staff had a party for her, and she was wearing a pink dress. His nieces never met her because obviously she died before she could meet her. But in the hall, when she'd go to her great granddad's house, she'd point and say, "Pink," in the hallway. When her parents went to see what it was, there wasn't anything there. They decided to get the picture of the retirement party where her grandma was wearing the pink dress. And they said to her, "Point to the lady," hoping that she'd seen her great grandma and not just some pink in her imagination. Her finger went straight to her great grandma, even though she has never seen or met her. Bear in mind, other ladies were at the party wearing pink stuff. So finally, just a month or two ago, when he went round to his granddad's house, he brought his Xbox, plugged it into the TV in the living room. Then go into the kitchen. You need to go through a door, but the house is pretty old, and the door isn't a thin, lightweight modern door. It was an old and heavy and needed a big pull or push to open. Anyway, on Xbox, he said he was gonna go get a drink from the fridge, and when he came back on the mic, he sounded shit scared. He told me that when he was going back into the living room, the door closed, swung open in his face, and knocked him back. No windows were open for a draft to come in, and even if it was, I don't think it would have moved a door as heavy as that. To this day, I still talk to him about it, but he denies that it couldn't have been anything paranormal and that if the property just opened on its own, it's because of a draft. Anyway, I don't think these stories were as good as other people's, but I still think they were worth a share. Thanks for reading, James. Wow, James.
Wow, James. And I'm sorry your friend does not believe, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Not
I'm
everybody does.
wondering if the grandma doesn't like the video games in the house.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. I'm like, maybe she's a PlayStation fan and didn't like Xbox. So,
Or he
that was,
got a sugary drink and she's like, go get milk or water or something.
yeah. Or maybe she's PC Master Race and, just hates consoles. I don't know. She might be old school a Sega fan and blames PlayStation for killing him.
How about
It's,
Atari?
yeah, could be, could be.
I love
Uh,
that.
yeah, I don't know, but or maybe she was mad because he took too long to get back and she wanted to see where the game was going. So if he's playing Mass Effect, I get mad when somebody pauses. Come on, I want to watch Mass Effect 2 all the way through like a movie. So,
That's so
all right,
true. So true.
James, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the show. And I'm supposed to be back on Beast of Britain a couple times this year. So I know they're doing the big anniversary show. I don't know if I'll make that because it's in England. I'll more soon, more soon. So
Hey, I'm just saying, I know Mark's brilliant, but if you want me to come over, I love visiting on that side of the pond. I am willing to make those jaunts.
yeah.
Any excuse to go over there. So that would be fine.
All right,
Okay,
moving on.
here we go. Um, Hi, gang of Eerie. Well, hello.
Hello. I like that. Hello.
Um, uh, Back in the beginning of March of this year, 2026, in case you don't read this till 2027 or 2028, we're not that far behind.
I
Wow.
know. I know.
Wow.
Getting
That
called out.
I feel judged. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Uh, my wife, May, our daughter and friends, husband and wife and their 2 kids were walking out of a Wings, etc. in Russell, Kentucky. I'm assuming that's a wings
At
restaurant?
the wing shop, man. That is a good wing shop too.
Yeah. Okay. As I was talking to my friend Tim, something over on the river caught our attention. To give you some idea of distance, I would say close to a mile from where we were standing, it looked like a boat that was illuminated with white lights around the outside of it. It was heading upriver towards Ashland, and it was on the Ohio side of the river between Ireton and Coal Grove. However, it was moving quite smoothly to be on the river. When it got directly in front of us, it began turning towards us and climbing in altitude and until it had turned towards downriver, flying above the old Armco land where the steel mill once stood. It had no taillight, no wing lights. It definitely appeared to have a cockpit of some sort. It was outlined bright white colors. Again, no sound. And as it traveled, would seem to be quite slow for a plane. Traveled to be white. Let me ju and it traveled what seemed to be quite slow for a plane, period. After a couple of minutes, it flew past the old Ashland oil building and that sat on a hill behind Hobby Lobby. We got in the car and began driving towards it and found nothing. We drove over the Ironton Russell Bridge, and each of us looked in opposite directions and saw nothing. Regards, Scott D.
Mm.
That is a little terrifying, Scott. First of all, I thought we all had rules about chasing after these things because Erica has rules about chasing after things. But that does not sound like a plane. Now, it is up in potentially experimental aircraft territory,
Yeah.
correct, Mark?
Yeah, it's not too
So
far from Wright-Patterson. We just wrote about this area in the new book. We go right through the old Armco place, and, uh, and right through Ashland, and Ironton's right there with the City of the Dead, the old, cemetery there. Edward Gorey, his mother's buried there, and his ashes were sprinkled there. So, yeah, it's right there's a lot of creepy stuff, but a lot of UFO sightings in that area, and I agree. I think this is military, that ship, that the Delta that we think, the big black triangle that everybody sees, but, it's like the least worst kept secret of the
well,
military.
it doesn't quite sound like this, but it sounds like something that has a different kind of propulsion and is slower moving than an aircraft. So
Yeah,
they're testing things, or it could have been a UFO. I mean,
yeah,
or
could be
UAP
legit.
or whatever they're
Yeah,
calling it. Like
UAP, it could be something warped in from an alternate, reality, who knows?
dimension, which we're not talking about, Mark. Stop trying to get us in
Yep,
trouble. Scott,
alright.
thank you for our story, and I'm glad you're all safe. Stop chasing things. Okay, good. Next.
Alright, here we go. I would like to introduce myself. Alright. My
Great.
name is Martin, and my wife and I bought a piece of property in the mountains of central New Hampshire a little over 4 years ago. At the time, I believed in the possibility of Bigfoot existing, but probably more than likely on the West Coast. Oh, yeah, that's common. Soon after purchasing the land, strange events started happening on the property. Strange, weird owl calls during the day and night. Unusual footprints appearing in areas where none should be. Then it happened. On a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon at approximately 80 feet away, I witnessed a Bigfoot walking off. Since then, I have had another of my own sightings on the property at 35 feet away, running in front of me at night with my headlamp. I have audio recorded a vocalization from the weird owl calls, knocking on my windows, and I think female Sasquatch vocals. I have a video of a young one where you can see his eyes looking in my kitchen window. I have observed two of them at 40 feet away with eye shine at night watching me. During the day, if there are any around, they sometimes will toss the occasional rock to let me know they are there. I've been whistled at. In the beginning, they were fascinated with my enclosed utility trailer and rubbed their fingers all over it. We've had we've twice had tree pushes, 90-degree tree breaks. I believe I have a family unit of 3 or 4 that frequents our property. I believe they know that they are safe there and have accepted us. So if you people are interested, I'm more than happy to share my journey of discovery with you all. I would like to extend my special thanks to Barb for inviting me to listen to your show. Martin.
Well, Martin, that's exciting. First of all, shout out to Barb, whoever you are, Barb.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting him. And Martin, that sounds amazing. Have you given peanut butter or other treats? Because they'll super like you if you do that.
Yeah, and, but also document, document, document. You're doing the right thing by recording the audio. Try to get some video, of course, put some webcams up. We don't know if that scares them or not, so just keep an eye on that. Document if it does, and then take them down if it does. Um, yeah, and just send this in to the BFRO if you don't wanna send it there. Send it to Expedition Bigfoot, in Georgia. If not, we'll document it. We'll put it on our list. We're already gonna do that with this, so wow, that sounds like you've got definitely activity there. And, again, don't know what it is. You are experiencing the unknown, my friend, the preternatural. It's
Yes,
what
and
we're all about.
I love your approach to this, Martin, because again, I think we're living next to them. We don't need to make everything a science exhibit. And I think it's just important to live and let live in some of these situations. And it sounds like they definitely are letting you know when you get too close to something that's theirs and, heed those things. But the whistling, do
Yeah.
not whistle back.
Nope.
I'm not 100% sure where the whistling is attributed to, but do not whistle back, and if you hear your name called, just walk away. Don't say anything.
Always.
Yes,
Always.
those are my advices, but I love that, and we would love to see the little eyes of the little
Uh,
wee sassy squatch, so if you
yeah.
wanna share that with
Definitely
me.
love to see the video. Put it up on a Google Drive and share it with those you trust. We'd love to
Mhm.
see it.
Yes,
I'd love
we
to send it
absolutely would.
to, Beasts of Britain or Parageeks. They'd love that. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay. Thank
one
you
more
again.
before the break. Oh yeah, thank you, Martin. One more
Yeah, I'll
before
do
the
one
break.
more before the break. Here we go.
All right.
Okay, this is my story about the Beast of Bray Road.
Oh, we were
I
up there.
posted it on Reddit before, but I thought I'd share it with my new podcast addiction.
Aw,
Kid.
thank you.
Yeah. My husband and I were hiking the trail in Kettle Moraine Forest in 2022. I'm assuming you know where that is.
Michigan.
Okay. It was July midday, and there was a handful of other people there too. And I feel like this is important to say. We were sober, laugh out loud. It is kind of important because
Yeah.
I may not have been if I was on this journey. Bugs. Okay, here we go. We walked out far enough on the trail that we were no longer passing people. They seemed to be hanging out closer to the parking lot. We were walking through the area that had crop fields nearby and a farm way far away, but still visible. The entire walk, we had a creeping ourselves out with dumb things: a black and white striped snake, a lacy white cloth hanging in a tree, a huge pile of rocks around a lone tree. Just normal stuff. For some reason, I kept saying if we saw three weird things, we should turn around. Just being dumb, really. I don't think you were just being dumb. I'm going to throw that out there. If I'd saw the lacy hankered cloth in a tree, depending on how it was, I might have been like, nope, turning around. Yep. So we passed the tree and I said we should turn around, but my husband wanted to get the next mile marker on his watch and we were close enough. So we go through the rest of the fields into a woodsy area past it. You can still see the fields through the trees. And then we saw this huge thing, grayish brown, long fur like the size of a horse, but with a weird head. It was far away, but running towards us, like beelining through the field right at us. We immediately turned around and started walking fast back. We weren't sure if it was a huge dog or what, but the way it ran was just so weird. It ran on all four legs, really long legs, and seemed like it was gliding or running in slow motion. We started running back through the fields, and the thing kept up with us, not advancing on us anymore, but like it was running alongside of us. We started sprinting, and we seriously ran the entire way back. We didn't see it again after re entering the woods. We told everyone at the parking lot area we passed to be careful. We saw some kind of weird big creature out there. I'm sure I was freaking some people out. We told our friend about it later, and he said, that sounds like the Beast of Bray Road. And of course, we Googled it and we just thought it was Eerie, how similar it sounded. And we've been creeped out to this day. Maybe it was just trying to sell us something we missed out on a great opportunity. Laugh out loud. But that night, we were walking home from dinner in the dark, and we took a wrong turn and ended up in a fenced off corner with a big family of deer. And the buck started slowly advancing on us, and the rest of the family stood up behind him. So we had to climb the fence to get away before we got smacked by the buck. I think it was nature really warning me that day, Laura.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, I am first going to let Mark thank you for your story. That sounds terrifying. Should have kept to your rules. But, Mark, what do you think it was?
Well, if they're in that area, that is Beast of Bray Road territory. It is a dog man frequently sighted right in that area, that corner of Michigan. And there are a lot of studies of it, a lot of documentaries on it. And this definitely fits right in. It's one that does tend to run on all fours, where the other ones tend to be on twos. So that fits right in again. Um, I
Is
don't
it?
know what else to say except maybe you misidentified like a horse or a deer, but they don't tend to go gray. Well, the deer don't, but horses do. So it might be that, but that's weird. Yeah, you saw something you don't understand.
Yep. And I would just say I'm going to veto Mark's horse idea because the idea of a horse chasing you like that, not that they don't, but then running along, no, hard pass on that, noping out. And with that, We will be right after a break from some of our sponsors.
Prepare to be devoured. The Wolves of Wharton is a 6-part complete book series by Eerie Travels producer Bo Lake. It has been called dark and visceral, steamy, dramatic, and a fresh take on the werewolf mythos. If you like action, adventure, a large serving of body horror, and some steamy relations, the Wolves of Wharton series is for you. Pick it up wherever books are sold or at linktree.com/bow__lake.
We are back. We are
Yeah.
back. These are some great stories.
These are amazing. Thank you, Laura, and oh my gosh, and thank you, Destiny, for that commercial music. I still love it. It just makes me happy. So
Fangirl moment from Mark. Okay.
I love it. So
I'm going to
I'll
start again. You know why? Because this starts with Hi, Erica.
yeah, sounds good.
So, hi, Erica. Well, hello. I saw a chupacabra in a field once. No, never mind. I don't want to read this. It started off so well. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Hi, Erica. I saw a chupacabra in a field once. I was driving home late at night when I caught a flash of something standing in tall grass, and I stopped the car to get a closer look. I
Uh,
have so many mornings for these listener stories.
yeah.
Could see the grass rippling as it moved around. I got closer, and then it started coming at me, and I freaked out. That's because you shouldn't have done that. Well, I was running back to my car. You got out of the car.
Oh,
Oh, there's so many things. Okay. While I was running back to my car, I could see its head bouncing up over the top of the grass. Had beady eyes, a long snout, tons of teeth in a wide open mouth, and was running, hopping bipedally, almost like a tiny kangaroo. Leathery skin with splotches all over it. I was fucking terrified. I hopped in the car and drove away. I'm terrified, and I wasn't even in this field with you, right? Got a decent look at his body as I did, and it was really some kind of monster. Had bloody patches all over, and its mouth looked like it was missing skin in places and made its teeth look even more ferociously long and sharp. Years later, I saw a GIF and everything clicked. It was definitely an incredibly mangy raccoon that was walking, bouncing on its hind legs for some reason. I'm guessing that it had survived a coyote attack and had injured paws to match the missing fur. It probably died soon after I saw it, or at least I hope it did. If it didn't, maybe it was a chupacabra after all. Thorsten. Thorsten. Oh, Thorsten. I am just going to say it was that, or potentially, coyotes and other animals can get like wasting diseases wherein
yeah.
their fur falls off or they get attacked and blah. It's not great, but yeah, that sound don't go out walking into fields chasing after things.
I have seen raccoons that walk on 2 legs because they can stand on 2 legs easy, and if they have some issues with their paws, if they've got mange, they might walk on 2 paws. It'll look a little weird. And I think he was just yeah, I think that's exactly what you saw. But, chupacabra is seen in a lot of areas, and a lot of people swear it's a thing, so I don't know what else to tell you. It does
No, I
happen.
think it's definitely a thing. Definitely a thing.
I think
So
I think I think you identified it, and good job. You did what you're supposed to do, so
yeah. Yep.
alright. Thanks, Thorson. That's a good name too, I like that. Alright, so, son of Thor. Alright, so, let's move on. So, hi, Mark and Erica. Uh,
Hello.
I wanted to share something unusual from my time living in rural Georgia a few years back.
Okay.
All right, that's not too far from us. It happened on a Thursday in 2018. Unfortunately, I don't remember the exact date, but it's stuck with me ever since. I had stepped outside to check my mail when something large flew overhead, moving east to west above the power line. Based on the tree it passed over, the creature was roughly 11 to 12 feet long from nose to tail, with
Mhm,
about
mhm.
half of that length being its tail. Its wingspan looked to be about 10 feet, although I was seeing it from the side, so that's an estimate. It was flying maybe 15 to 20 feet off the ground and disappeared behind the tree line to the southwest of my house. The strange part is how
Oh
much it
my
rem
goodness. The strange part is everything you just said, whoever
I
you are.
I love it. So, the strange part is how much it resembled a pterosaur. It was very similar to the ones depicted in Jurassic Park, even though I know those aren't scientifically accurate. Its skin had a smooth, leathery texture, almost like oak bark, but finer, and it was a tan or beige color. The tail was noticeably long, longer than most of the drawings you see online. Its wing beats made an odd sound, almost like a flexible sheet of metal being waved, like a kind of soft booba noise. I like how you spelled that.
Okay.
And stranger, there were normal birds and crows, and a gray bird with white and black stripes circling it, the way they sometimes mob hawks or eagles. The whole sighting lasted maybe 5 seconds. My reaction was surprisingly calm. The only thing I remember saying was, "Oh, I sure wish I had my phone on me because there's no way anyone's going to believe this." I figured this might be of interest to you both, given the kind of encounters and stories you cover. If you want more details or to walk through it, I'm happy to share whatever I can remember. Michael.
Wow. Um, that's terrifying, and that's terrifying. But yes, I think Mark's gonna say he wants more information.
I think I have a theory on this one.
Oh,
Um,
what's your theory?
I think it was a kite. I've
What?
seen, uh, I think it was a kite. I've seen a Jurassic Park kite that looks like a 3D pterosaur, and the wings kind of flap. It is a thing I have heard of. I'm not saying that's what this was, but it only lasted a few seconds, your sight, so we can't be sure. That's my immediate go-to. You know what I mean? I've got to debunk a little at first. If not, there are many large birds and pterosaurs that have been sighted over the years. We talked about the snallygaster. We've talked about some other fun cryptids like that. There's a giant documentary called Terror in the Skies that really goes into these. It talks about the sightings in the 70s, the 80s, all the way back to the 1800s. Um, that they didn't even know about pterosaurs back then. So, yeah, it could be that, but I have seen a kite and it has a really, really, really long tail because that's part of the string and the balance because it
So
is.
I want you to
Mhm.
send this kite to this person and let's see what they say.
Yep, I'll do
I am
that.
much more excited that it's a dinosaur.
Yeah, it'd be great if it's a pterosaur, but like I said, we have other sightings of them, so I'm not denying that. I'm just saying my go-to is that kite, the Jurassic Park kite. So if it's still available, I'll put the link for Amazon order in in the show
Yeah,
notes.
there we go. If you want a pterosaur kite,
It is
okay.
giant. It is a giant kite.
Yeah.
So, all
Um,
right. Thanks, Michael.
yes, Michael, please send more information though, and Mark will see if it's anyway. You
If
we'll
it
share.
fits the
Okay.
bill.
Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
Greetings. I have a glitch story, maybe. I'm not sure. I need to
Ooh,
preface the actual incident. As a preteen, I had seen what fit the criteria for a UFO. I received a lot of criticism and accusations of lying about it until our local newspaper ran a story about sightings that matched my description, specifically in our neighborhood. So I felt vindicated, but I've never really gotten over the bad reaction I received from sharing my experience, which is unfortunate. And we hate that, and that's why we have a safe space. Okay.
that's why we say document, document, document.
Yeah. A couple years later, when I was about 12, I was out for the day with my grandmother. She was driving, and I was in the passenger seat with the window rolled down. I'm very glad that you explained that because if you were driving, I have many other questions at that point. So, uh, I was idly watching the trees go by until there was an opening and I saw a large, elevated contraption. The clearing closed and it was again obscured by trees. Before I had the chance to process it, but it gave me the impression of something like a horizontal construction crane. I wondered what the heck they could be building in that area. Then quickly another larger opening of trees came up and I could see clearly. The contraption wasn't a crane or even supported from the ground. It was suspended in the air. Then the trees quickly closed, obscuring it again. This all happened within maybe 15-20 seconds. I remember turning my face forward, kind of shocked for the second before noticing my grandmother was leaning over, peering through the right side of the windshield in that direction. Then, to me, with a perplexed expression, I asked, "Did you see that?" And she nodded. I asked her to describe it, and her description basically mirrored mine. So she turned the car around to backtrack and got to the same lane so we could see it again, except we didn't. Then she turned around again and drove much further back to try again, but we couldn't see it. We spent about an hour crisscrossing streets towards that direction and never saw anything resembling or offering an explanation for what we'd seen. What stood out to me was the reflected sunlight highlighting what suggested to me to be pipes and machinery running across its length. And it didn't appear to be in motion, just suspended. My grandmother and I talked about this over the years, but we kept it to ourselves. Me because of my previous bad experience, and she said no one would probably believe her either. April. Well, April, welcome to the glitches in the Matrix.
Yeah, that's my exact thought is that, there's something there that they don't want us to see, and, you got a glimpse through the veil of whatever that is. It could be a parallel dimension, timeline, whatever we wanna call it. It could be just, a military operation where they got a thing to block the view, and you just happened to catch it when it was glitching. So, but, there's a lot of theories on that, but you documented it. I'd like to know exactly where that is so we could try to Google Maps it and see what we could find, but,
Yeah,
I would bet that that is an area that's blocked off on Google Maps.
I would probably bet it too, but April, if you want to share it, that would be great. And we believe you because
Yeah,
you're not
100%.
the only one that has the glitches in the Matrix.
You saw something you don't understand. Thank you very much. So thanks for
Yes, thank you
documenting.
for sharing it.
All right, let's go on. In my freshman year of college, I got home and went down to watch some TV. Our family room was attached to the kitchen and dinette, and a heavy iron gate separated the tile part from the carpeted area as my sister's dog liked to pee on the carpets. On the sides of the TV stand, there were tall windows, great for spotting the parents when having late night makeout sessions.
I love that.
I love this. So this night, it's about 9:30 at night or so. I spot movement in the reflection of the window. I noticed a figure standing there looking into the room. Thinking it's my sister, I call out. No response. The figure turns and goes down the hallway to the bedrooms. I listen for a moment for the sound of a door closing. Nothing. So I get up, half expecting my sister to try and scare me, but nothing. She's passed out in her room, door closed. My mom was awake watching TV, and where she was at, she could see anyone coming down the hallway. I asked her if sister came down the hall, and she looked at me confused and said no. Went back into the family room and started watching TV again. The thing is, it was just my mom, sister, and I. My mom was wheelchair bound, so she wouldn't have been strolling down the hall. It wasn't an intruder because she would have seen them, and the dogs would have lost their collective shit. It wasn't someone outside, as we had motion lights that would have lit them up like a Christmas tree, plus dogs. James. Yep. James, you saw a presence. And
Yeah.
and again, you had all the
James,
documentation. Good.
it seems mostly harmless, the presence, but that's what I'm going to say. Maybe just passing through, little walkabout,
Mhm.
doing. I'm not quite to burn it down because it doesn't seem bad, but if there are more stories you haven't told us, I may recommend my favorite realtor, Spencer Pulling in North Carolina. Oh, so you can burn that down. Yes, I like it.
So,
I like it.
alright. Oh, Erica, I see 1, 2 down that you might wanna do. So you want me to do this next one?
Yeah.
Alright, so Iraq, 2003 or 2004. Oh, geez. I assume military. Orb came down from the sky, moved at insane speeds from 5 kilometers to 10 kilometers to 10 kilometers to 20 kilometers. We measured it with the laser on the Bradley. Yep,
What is the Bradley?
that's a Bradley tank. So
Okay.
they're very fast and they're very high tech. Needless to say, I was scared then, but now that I found God, I feel that they were probably peaceful. Maybe even angels from beyond this dimension. Maybe society is taught to be fearful of them as we are often fearful of what we don't know. Or maybe the government knows more truth than they let on and do not want us to know in order to justify these endless wars. Whatever it was doing reconnaissance on us, which is ironic considering I was doing reconnaissance that night. Why is everyone so scared to talk about this? Makes you wonder, really. Power, control, whatever it was real, and it hasn't tried to hurt us. But we are certainly scared of it as a society. If there's one thing this government is doing great at, it's lying. Maybe someday in this lifetime, we will get the answers we deserve, or maybe we will forever be stuck in this endless mind game of being lied to consistently or constantly. For what reason? Hayden.
Well, Hayden, I have many, many thoughts on this that I don't know that I'm going to share right now, but I will say this is I think that as a person is smart, but people tend to have reactions to things that are aggressive and uncalled for. So I think a public announcement, but me and Mark really believe we're super close to it being uncorked, so to speak. So we'll see what
Yep.
happens when that happens.
Yep.
If me and Mark are still around, considering the fact that he keeps pissing off X and the people attached to him. So we'll see what happens there.
I think, I think you're right. I think you saw it, you documented it. It's probably in the military record. Hopefully we get enough of that when this stuff starts coming out. I don't think they're really going to do full disclosure anytime soon, but something big's coming. They're going to say something and we'll find it. We'll find it. So don't worry about it. Hayden, you're right. As long as we're not pissing them off, they're not pissing us off. Let's do it.
Yes. And hopefully they're also intelligent enough to know the ones that could be cold.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
There we
It,
go.
it was just Indrid Gold, buzzing you. So who knows?
Yeah, that could be a thing. That could absolutely be a thing. Um, Mark, how many more do we have?
Just a few.
Okay.
So I think this one big one, and then that which is to you, and then we got
Mhm.
two more. So, but
Okay.
just at the right time. So
Let's do that. Okay, here we go. I've got one you need to read in the daytime, Erica. Oh my goodness. I already don't like that. No.
yeah.
Okay. This is one of the strangest experiences I had. Once several years past, I was sleeping in my bedroom in my family home as I had a long holiday. Once I woke up during the late morning and after using the bathroom and getting dressed, I left to the living room area, yet saw no one there, though it was almost like afternoon time by then. So I continued forward and saw the door to my parents' bedroom slightly open. I stepped in, and their bedroom is pretty large. At the end of it, like 20 feet away near some tall wooden cabinets, I saw my mother standing there just staring at me. And for some reason, she was all dressed up to go out. So I said, "Good morning, Mom. You going somewhere?" And she just stood there quietly staring at me. So again, I repeated, "Good morning, Mom." And she just stood there, completely still, her eyes fixated on me. Then I said, "Mom, good morning." And here from the dressing room, several yards away where I stood, I could hear my mother's voice saying, "Yes, good morning. I'm changing. How many times are you going to say good morning? I heard you the first time."
Oh.
Oh, ah,
Yeah,
mm.
she called
Here
it.
I Yeah, here I stood stricken with horror as I realized what was standing there is not my mother, and I had no idea what it was. It just stood there staring at me. I said a few prayers, and then in an instant, the image began to dissolve in some strange black smoke that dissipated and quickly dissolved and disappeared into the surroundings. Then, just a few seconds later, I saw my mother stepping out of the dressing room. Yet I didn't tell her what I saw, as she gets pretty unsettled by such matters. So I decided not to tell her, as she may refuse to keep sleeping in her bedroom. Jacqueline. Well, Jacqueline, you should tell your mother and then burn the house down. Nope. Nope. It's one thing when things take on images, but it's completely different when they look like your loved ones that are still alive less than 20 feet from you. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Tell your mom immediately.
Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
where I stand.
Yep. It's I think this is you saw something that didn't make sense. I would like to think it was something just there, but it scared you. It definitely scared you. So that I lead fearmonger because that's the kind of thing that they have been known to do is pretend to be a family member and just scare the bejesus out of you. Um, it could be something was trying to talk to you as your mom. I'm hoping that that's a good thing, but yeah, I'm leaning.
I'm
Thank you for
vetoing it.
documenting.
I'm gonna
I
veto that decision. This was 100% not thing, because it would have said something if it was trying to say something, but the
yeah,
fact that it was in
intention.
no,
No.
the
Right.
fact that it was imitating somebody that
Oh,
was
yeah.
20 feet away, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Do not love that at all, Jacqueline. Thank you for your story.
Thank you,
Terrifying. Tell
Jacqueline.
your mom immediately.
Yeah, I would too. So, all right, here we go.
Okay.
2 left. We got this. My dad used to absolutely love pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. Oh, same.
I love pumpkin pie on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I even remember being very young one year and he told me to give it a try as I didn't think I was going to like it at all. And I loved it. This became a core memory for me. My dad introducing me to pumpkin pie. After that, every year on Thanksgiving, my dad and I used to clamor about having pumpkin pie for dessert. Then all of a sudden, about 8 years ago, I started clamoring to my dad about pumpkin pie again at Thanksgiving, and he just said, I don't like pumpkin pie. I was flabbergasted and in total disbelief. I was adamant that he was kidding around with me, but again, he said, I don't like it. I've never liked it. I totally expected him to grab some that night and declare he was totally joking around, but he wasn't. It was then that the whole family started pitching in and asking him what was going on. Because it wasn't just me who remembered he loved it, it was everyone. My mom, my siblings, grandparents, etc. So now every year, instead of being excited for pumpkin pie, it's become sort of a tradition to poke fun at him for being from another dimension and sharing all of our memories and anecdotes of him loving pumpkin pie. He just laughs it off now and sometimes scoffs at us, wondering what the hell we're on about. It's definitely very fucking weird. And he's not really one to kid around about things like that. He loves food. And there's just no way he would completely avoid eating the pie just to keep up a gag, especially with how much he used to love it. What do you think? Helen. Wow. Yeah. I think your dad was replaced by a changeling and you need to take him out to the fairy tree and leave him there overnight so that they bring back the real one.
That's an option.
Yeah.
Or he got switched with your dad from another dimension.
Yeah. Or alien abduction, and he got replaced by a beta unit as he has been sent to defend the Star League against Zur and the Kodan Armada. So,
Mark watches a lot of movies, and so do I. I wish that was the case. That is so weird, though. I'm
yeah.
kind of curious, Helen, is there anything else that he is weird on? Like, Have you
Yeah.
guys asked him things that, like, were from before the time that he should remember one way versus another time? Because that is something where the gag would be up by now because pumpkin pie is pumpkin pie, and you don't mess around with pumpkin.
And a lot of people, you either love it or you hate it because
Yeah.
the seasoning. I get that. It may be like me where epilepsy sometimes affects me, and I've changed my opinions on a few things. I get that. I'm not a fan of chocolate anymore. I kinda trained myself to not like chocolate because they've told me chocolate was bad for my migraines, which they thought I was having before they found out I was having epilepsy. So,
Well,
it can
your
happen.
your your blood sugar may also not be a fan of chocolate, so
That too.
settle it.
That's true too. But
But,
there it could be
it's not like
something.
you forgot that you like chocolate.
Yeah, yeah.
If you suddenly said, "No, I never liked chocolate," that would be weird.
Yeah,
So,
if I suddenly say I don't like, spicy chicken, then you are free to put me out of my misery.
yeah,
Alright.
no,
Alright,
that would
last
be
one, Erica.
okay. That was weird, but let's see where we're
Yeah.
going next.
Thank you,
Helen,
Alan.
that's what I think. I think that it could have been one of a number of things, but it's very unlikely that and that doesn't mean he's not your dad. It just
No,
means he might not be your dad, and he's a dad that's yours.
yeah, okay, I get that, but I think honestly, just it could be something that changed, a chemical imbalance or something like that would do it too. So,
Making you forget you like pumpkin pie?
yeah, it changes. My memory ain't
Okay.
the best,
I don't
so
know
alright.
who super, scientific Mark is today, but I'm gonna let you just drink from your water, and I'm gonna read the last story.
Yep.
Here we go. Okay. Are you going to do another Mandela Effect episode? I don't know, Mark. Are we gonna
Well,
do another Mandela Effect episode?
we've got a little bit left. We could do another full dive.
Yeah, okay. We will do another one. Mark is writing that down because if he doesn't, we won't remember. Okay. I think I have something for you. I Mandela affected my whole family once. Wow, we're using it as a verb now.
Love it.
Okay. Years ago, there was a football player on a rival team that always did a dumb celebration after he got a sack, and my family and I always hated it. It was in American football, and the player was Jared Allen of the Minnesota Vikings and his cattle roping sack celebration. This was maybe 10 years ago. One night after he did it, my family started trashing the celebration, and I said as a joke, we're all going to feel terrible when we find out he's doing the celebration at the request from a Make a Wish kid. Fast forward to years later, our team is playing that team again. The player got sacked and did the celebration. I rolled my eyes and said, I hate that celebration so much. And my mom instantly turned and said, don't say that. He's doing it for a sick kid. I actually like it. So I was like, what? What? There's no sick kid. My whole family then proceeded to argue with me. They all vividly remembered reading articles about it, seeing a special report segments before games about it, and other information. One of them even thought they knew the disease the kid had, even extra details about why the kid chose that specific celebration. They all had these shared memories that they were sure were true. I was floored by this, insisted none of that was true. So we looked it up. Not true. No kid ever like that ever existed. They still have trouble wrapping their heads around this one. Turned out, human memory is not near as reliable as we think. Does that explain the braces? Lincoln. Oh, Lincoln. Oh,
Oh,
you are poking a bear, dude.
I
Poking
love
a bear.
I
Give
love
her
everything
your
about
back.
that.
Actually, Lincoln could be a boy or girl's name. Um,
Yeah,
Poking a bear. Do not get Mark started about the braces thing.
yeah.
Mark, what are you gonna say to that?
For those that don't know, Moonraker, Dolly had braces. I'm just saying. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. That is exactly how these things happen. And that's exactly how some of these come about. Sometimes the movie ones, they put it in the trailer version. And then when it comes out later, they've edited it, reshot it, things like that. And that can make it happen. It's the exact same thing where some of these have become fake memories. But there are a lot that we think something happened, and, yeah, we'll definitely dive into Mandela effects again because I think it's been a while. It's been over a year since we've
Yeah.
done it, might even be 2. So, yeah, I'll put that on the list, and wow, but that is a perfect example of creating false memories, and, Lincoln, that's great. So, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Erica,
Yeah.
yeah, we made it.
We did make it, and I'm just gonna say it's interesting, but I think it's weird I think when it comes to human memory, I agree with you, but I don't think that was the braces. It's kinda like the sunglasses, like, there's definitely something, we just don't know what it is, and apparently we're not supposed to talk about it anymore. So, in the in the spirit of Mark getting yelled at, no, just kidding. But thank you, travelers. Oh my gosh, these stories were amazing. Thank you for them. Now, I will say we're officially caught up
Yeah,
as of the end of April. So
yep.
if you have stories, please send them to us. And if you have any follow ups, please send them to us. And I was going to just point out, I haven't heard from my favorite spirit animal in a long time. So where's my new stories, lady?
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, she, reached out to us and, may schedule an appearance on the show.
what?
Yeah, so I think we might have to do that. So, we've been a little busy this month with all the events, so, I'll try to reach out and schedule a time that works for all of us. So,
I would
that'll
love
be
that.
great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So, all right, travelers, thank you so much for all the content. We love these
Yes.
stories, and they are showing us we are in some weird stuff out there. We are documenting everything we can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, we got everything on this one. We had Bigfoot, we had some glitches in the Matrix, we had a lot of ghosts, and even a pteranodon or a pterodactyl. So that was great. Pterosaur. But as you're out there, if you want to send us stories, EerieTravels.com. That also shows us where we're going to be. So you can see the events we're going to be at and keep your eyes open for our next book. Or if you want to order the last book or order some prints from Carrie's art, they're all up there. The ones we have in stock anyway. And we love you all so much. You can drop us a line there to send us your listener tale or email Mark at Eerie Travels or email info at Eerie Travels or email Erica at EerieTravels.com and you'll get us and we're happy to
Yeah.
respond. Not all of them we read online because some people don't want us to, and you're fine to tell us you don't want it, and we'll try to reach out and figure out what we can help you with and all that. All that said, when you're out there in the woods, something strange is calling your name or something's whistling, or if you see something moving through the tall grass and walking weird or charging at you, get your wits about you, document, 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 look closely at its teeth, and hope it's not a raccoon with mange. And we'll see you on the other side.